Storm Song by James Bayard Taylor, 1825 to 1878. The clouds are scudding across the moon, a misty light is on the sea. The wind in the shrouds has a wintry tune, and the foam is flying free. Brothers, a night of terror and gloom speaks in the cloud and gathering roar. Thank God he has given us broad sea room 1,000 miles from shore. Down with the hatches on those who sleep, the wild and whistling deck have we. Good watch, my brothers, tonight we'll keep, while the tempest is on the sea. Though the rigging shriek in his terrible grip, and the naked spars be snapped away, lashed to the helm we'll drive our ship in the teeth of the whelming spray. Hark how the surges o'erleap the deck, hark how the piteous tempest raves. Our daylight will look upon many a wreck, drifting over the desert waves. Yet courage, brothers, we trust the wave, with God above us our guiding chart. So whether to harbour or ocean grave, be it still with a cheery heart. Okay, this is a poem by James Bayard Taylor. He was born in Pennsylvania. His parents were Quakers. I think his mother was of Swiss origin. His younger brother was a colonel in the Union Army who was killed at Gettysburg in the American Civil War. He's probably best known as a travel writer. He travelled all over the world, and he's also known as a translator from German and as a poet. Now, what's this poem about? I think this poem is about a storm at sea. This is about the dangers of being a sailor. This is weathering the storm. That in the storm the sailors are in God's hand, and it's focusing on what happens to the sailors, and they're all working together. And in this time, sea adventures were were something that were in vogue. And the poem, it also shows the force of nature, the power of nature, and the bravery of the people who deal with it. And this poem, it discusses the storm and the ship and the crew of the boat. The clouds are scudding, they're zooming across the moon. Misty light is on the sea, there's a strange light. The wind in the shrouds have a wintry tune. The shrouds are the ropes that go up to hold the masts in place. And the foam is flying free, so there's foam flying everywhere. So there is this storm coming. The wind's in the shroud, it's making a noise in the rigging. There's foam blowing all over the place. There's this strange light. This is very, very descriptive. And look at this, the foam is flying free. Yeah, all of this alliteration. Brothers. So here, this is referring to the crew. Brothers, everybody in the crew are brothers. A night of terror and gloom speaks in the cloud and gathering roar. So it's clear that the clouds and the roar of the waves is going to give us a black and terrifying night. Thank God he has given us broad sea room, 1,000 miles from shore. So he's saying at least we're lucky, at least we're in the middle of the sea. We're 1,000 miles from shore, which means there's not going to be any danger of being blown onto the rocks. Because in a large storm, if you're near the coast, you could easily end up blown onto the shore, and that would be a very nasty way to go. Down with the hatches on those who sleep. So batten down the hatches, close the access ways to the people who are sleeping downstairs. The wild and whistling deck have we the people who are on watch, the people whose turn it is, we are on the wild and whistling. Look at those W's as well. Deck have we. Good watch, my brothers, we'll keep tonight. Tonight we'll keep, while the tempest is on the sea. So he's saying to the rest of the crew who are sleeping, they will keep watch very carefully, because it's a dangerous night. But don't worry, they will keep good watch while the storm is raging. Though the rigging shriek in his terrible grip, and the naked spars be snapped away. So this makes me wonder, in his terrible grip, his is the storm. So the rigging is the ropes are making noises making screaming noises in the wind, and the spars, pieces of wood for the sails, are being snapped away even though they've got no sails on them. Lashed, tied to the helm, tied to the wheel, we'll drive our ship in the teeth of the whelming spray. So we will drive into the wind, into the storm, because it's the only way, and the spray and the water will overwhelm us, will come towards us, the fury of this storm. Hark how the surges o'erleap the deck. So waves are coming up and over the deck. Hark how the pitiless tempest raves. So listen to the sound of the storm which has no pity. Daylight will look upon many a wreck, drifting over the desert waves. And when morning comes, there will be many ships that have been wrecked by this storm, and they will be drifting over the sea as if it's a desert. There will be so many ships will be wrecked by this storm. Yet courage, brothers, we trust the wave, with God above us as our guiding chart. But be brave, brothers, we are together, we are comrades, we are friends. We will trust the waves, we have God to guide us, so whether to harbour or ocean grave, be it still with a cheery heart. So God is guiding us, and whether we finally make it to the harbour or are here destroyed on the ocean, let us be happy, because it will be God's decision whether we live or we die, and we are here to face the storm, to face the anger of nature. So, Storm Song by James Bayard Taylor.